Okay, YouTube, this is JL Chambers 82, and I had the day off, and I was just kind of playing around with some old school Sega Genesis and various games, and I thought I'd start a little series maybe, showing off none other than Street Fighter. Anyway, I thought I'd show it for the consoles that I have, the different versions, then go into the imports, and then maybe get to the more modern versions of Street Fighter. And just where it's gone in the series. But anyway, what I have here is the Sega Genesis version, which is the Special Champion Edition. This is not the first version I ever played. In fact, I didn't have this back when I had a Sega Genesis. I actually had it on. I had my first experience with Street Fighter 2 was besides the arcade was the Super Nintendo cart. My grandmother bought it for me. It was like $70, and it was like the greatest thing ever. But this version, yeah, the voices on the sound effects it's not as good as the Super Nintendo, and even the music definitely is not as good. But the speed on this one was all my friends that had Genesis swore by it, and I did play it, but I never had it back in the day. I did not own it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this one started. And yeah, the screen looks very similar to the arcade screen and everything, but again, this was not. It was a very, very good port, probably the best home port of Street Fighter up until Super Nintendo put out. God, I can't remember which edition they put out after the Street Fighter 2. I don't know if it was the Turbo or the Thunder edition, but whichever edition it was, they released one, and it was by far the best console port at the time. Finally got the speed issues, but that's the great thing about this game is the speed is spot on. There's very, very little slowdowns where the Street Fighter 2, just the standard version of that came out for Super Nintendo, was notorious for slowing down. But this one, yeah, the speed's great. The character animations are right on. Yeah, it's a little slow down there, but anyway, yeah, it's still a great version. I just bought this on eBay, and that's another great thing about collecting for Sega Genesis. For anyone out there that might have just started, this came mint in the box with the manual and everything. The manual had been read through a couple times. That was about the only problem that I can tell with it. But yeah, delivered was $3. That was with shipping. I mean, how can you pass that up? It's basically like them giving it away, right? But, sorry, I'm also not very good with Guile. It's not my character of choice usually. But back in the day, I did, when I was playing it for Super Nintendo, I did get to where I could finish the game with everybody. And here today, I've noticed that my arch nemesis has been Vega. I'm gonna have to remember his patterns and whatnot. But, no, it's really cool to go back and play these, because just like, this is, 16-bit era, and, the arcade was still so much better, but, we're spoiled now because there is no arcade to compare anything to, and, like, everything is just, a game is only as good as the last game that came out for a system, right? Like, the last great game anyway, so, it just really brought back those memories of trying, going over to someone's house and who had the best version of Street Fighter, who had a Super Nintendo or Genesis, and could you be the bosses, or was there a turbo option? And I really miss that with games now. The fact that there's not anything really to compare anything to. It's just games are developers. It's almost like movie studios. There's developers out there just constantly working, and there's just not like a bar that you measure games against. And back in the day, when we had this, we were trying to get the best arcade experience, the best gameplay that we could. Which port or which system would it be best on? Which had the better speed, easy to execute moves, better sound effects, sharper graphics, things like that. And yeah, this version, now that I have it, I remember like I said, going over and playing it maybe at a friend's house, or maybe one of my cousins had it or something. But yeah, it's. It's been a while since I played the Super Nintendo version, but yeah, the speed's much better, and yeah, you can be the bosses and everything, so this must have been really cool for Genesis owners, Because for a while, you know, until that other version came out for Super Nintendo, this kind of reigned supreme, you know, as the best port. So anyway, YouTube, I just thought I'd show you this. I'm gonna probably pop in some more Street Fighter games for my collection and just kind of let you take a look at them and kind of span it across various systems. But later.